In this video, we're going to learn about a thing called minority politics. Now, minority politics is probably not what you think it is. It's something different. I don't particularly like the name minority politics. I would rather call it the politics of coalitions. Our source material for this conversation is Agricultural Policy in the United States by Novak et al. And in chapter 3 of their book, they have a very brief discussion of a concept called minority politics. And other books I've used for my policy class in the past have given a deeper description of this, and so I think it deserves a little bit more time. So here's the basic idea behind minority politics. Let's say that you are a representative in the government. Maybe you're a senator, maybe you're a member of the House of Representatives, maybe you're at the national level, maybe you're at the state level. Maybe you're just on the local school board. Who knows? It really doesn't make any difference for the application of the concept. So let's say hypothetically that you're a senator and you come from a rural state or maybe a state inside the Midwest where agriculture is very important. And you know that your constituents would benefit from an agricultural subsidy. If you want to get reelected, it might behoove you to see if you can argue for an agricultural subsidy for your constituents, for the farmers in your area. It'll benefit local business, lots of good reasons for you to do it in your area. You get to looking around and you realize that there's maybe about 10 or 15 other states that would agree with you on this, that a nationwide program that would benefit their states directly, transfer money from urban states to the rural states, is something you might like to see. So you're doing some counting and you realize that if you want to win a vote, if you want to get your idea, your bill turned into a law, your policy passed into a law, that you only have 10 or 15 votes at the most, and you need a majority, whether it's a 2/3 majority or a 50% majority, it really doesn't matter. You need some type of majority in order to get your idea for your constituents turned into something that's a real policy that puts money in their pocket or benefits them in some way. And you realize that with 15 votes, you can't win. The Senate has 100 voting members. If there's a tie, the vice president votes. You need 51 votes to get a simple majority. So what do? Well, you start looking around and you start looking for other people, other representatives that have maybe not the exact interest you have, but similar interest. And you might be able to find another senator somewhere that has some pet project that they like, and they look around and say they don't have enough votes for it. So what do? You get together with this person and the people who agree with them, and maybe the two groups together now have 30 votes. So you go and speak to that senator and you find out that there's another 15 senators that like his idea or her idea, and they would be willing to vote for it. They know there's no chance of winning, so they're never going to bring it up. But you take your 15 people and their 15 people, and you both come together and agree to each vote on each other's issue, right? So what you have is you have a minority of 15, and that minority can never win a vote. You've got another minority of 15, and that minority can never win a vote. You pull those two together, and you now have a minority of 30. You're still not going to win a vote, but you're getting closer. You might be able to convince a few more people to vote in favor of your idea. I'm sure there's some people that are completely neutral, could care less about your idea, that would vote for it if you give them some reason. And you look around and you find another senator with some issue. And that senator has a coalition of 20 people that would be willing to vote for it. Well, you take that coalition in, that minority of 20, bring it into your group, and you've now got 50%. And the three ideas can then go forward separately or together. It really doesn't matter. And you've got at least 50% of the vote. And all you have to do is argue in order to convince a few others to vote in your way. Or you find yet another group of representatives that have yet another idea. And you all get together and you form this coalition that each individual group in the coalition would be a minority and wouldn't stand a chance in hell of ever getting a law passed. But when you bring these four small minorities together into a big coalition, you've got now a majority. And that's what we mean when we say the politics of the minority. And that's what I mean when I would rather call it the politics of coalition building. And basically what you need to do in order to make that work is build a coalition and be very cooperative within your coalition so that you can make sure you get the votes to get your idea pushed through, as well as the ideas of the other members of the coalition. Now, if you were to flip through one of the textbooks that brings this up, they would bring up typically 5 points. Those 5 points are worth it for you to go look at and read. But at the end of the day, the main point is if you can take a bunch of small minorities, 15 people here, 10 people there, and bring them together into a big coalition, you've got a better chance of getting your idea pushed forward as a part of that bundle of ideas. And you see this in agriculture, and you see it specifically in the Farm Bill. We know that the biggest expenditure in the Farm Bill is typically the nutrition programs, which encompasses things like the Women, Infants, and Children program and school lunches, and of course, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. This is a great example of how individuals that might not see eye to eye on things, that have different constituent groups, can come together and all vote in favor of the Farm Bill. In fact, the Farm Bill usually has a lot of bipartisan support because there's a little bit of something in the Farm Bill for everybody. I don't care who you are or where you are, there's something in that bill for you. In fact, there's an example, and we'll give some more details of this later. A farm bill just a few years back was vetoed, actually twice by the same president, and overridden twice. That the Farm Bill has enough support that it can easily override presidential vetoes most of the time. Let's wrap this video up right here. Stay tuned for the next video.